Each year, the Mark Twain Prize at the Kennedy Center, made possible by presenting sponsor Capital One, recognizes a comedian who has truly impacted American culture, and this year the prize was awarded to David Letterman. Christy Bogey is here to tell us more about all of that and the Mark Twain Prize. Good morning, Christy.
I'm coming to you today from the 20th annual Mark Twain Prize for American Humor at the Kennedy Center, here with Roy Wood Jr., a correspondent at The Daily Show. Roy is here today to tell us a little bit about the show, celebrate David Letterman, and talk about Capital One's commitment to celebrating comedy. All right, well, Roy, let's just start things off here by saying thank you so much for being with us today. We're very happy to have you.
This is my pleasure to be here and be a part of this event. This is the 20th anniversary of the Mark Twain Prize, presented by co-sponsor Capital One, who recognizes that comedy as an art form helps us grow as a society. And it's a beautiful thing to be a part of. Just to even be involved in this with everything that Capital One has done for comedy here in the city of Washington, D.C. as the hometown bank of the city, and then to go a step further and start giving out the Mark Twain Prize for comedy, which honors people that have contributed to the comedic culture over the years. And when you think of some of the previous winners, like Eddie Murphy and Whoopi Goldberg, like these are people who are decades and decades into the business, and they're just iconic names. And David Letterman's name belongs in the rafters as well.
All right, now speaking of David Letterman, he is this year's Mark Twain Prize recipient. He is a huge comedic icon. So what would you say is your fondest memory of the late night legend?
For me, it was the time that I appeared on the show in 2006. It was my network television debut, and I've never been more nervous in my life. And I've gone skydiving twice.
Oh.
Like, that pushed me out of a plane before you put me behind that curtain. Seconds before Letterman says, "Ladies and gentlemen, Roy Wood Jr.," and they yanked the curtain back. And the Ed Sullivan Theater, this is what people don't tell you about the Ed Sullivan Theater. It's huge. It's one of the largest television studios in the city of New York, especially where late night is concerned. When you look at a lot of other late night television shows, the studios are a little more compacted. Ed Sullivan is a cave. It is huge, and you walk out and you can feel the laugh from the back of the room all the way 4 miles to where you're standing. It was very intimidating. It was very fun. I had a great time. But for me, that will be my lasting moment as a performer, as a viewer of the show, as a viewer of David Letterman. My fondest moment was I used to watch Stupid People Tricks.
It's a good one.
And then I would go to school and try to do the stupid human tricks.
You're here today thanks to Capital One, the hometown bank of DC, as you were saying earlier, and they have such a strong commitment to elevating comedy as an art form. What makes celebrating comedy so important to you?
I think, I don't think I'm alone in viewing this. I think everyone at Capital One agrees with me when I say that comedy helps to spur societal conversations on issues that may not have otherwise been brought to the surface. And comedy has always been the perfect salve to something that's painful, so that a discussion can be had, so that the ice can be broken on particular issues. And I think it's important with the Mark Twain Prize that we celebrate the people who have used their platform over the years to try to make the world a better place. And I think David Letterman falls right underneath that perfectly. I also appreciate the fact that Capital One, who's the hometown bank, back in 2014, created comedy at the Kennedy Center as a way to elevate comedy as an art form.
Now, switching gears here a little bit, what advice do you have for up-and-coming comedians?
I think the main thing for any comedian, no matter where they live, is to stay on stage as much as they can. Trust your instincts. If you feel like it's funny, if you feel like it's something that's worth being said, then get on stage and say it. Do everything you can to document what you say so that you can go back and review that stuff, because that stuff is priceless in your growth.
Lastly, do you have any projects going on right now or anything coming up in the future?
The Daily Show with Trevor Noah. We're still Monday through Thursday, 11 o'clock on Comedy Central. Also on Comedy Central in February, I'll be the new host of the storytelling show This Is Not Happening, entering our 4th season. So that'll be fun as well. I'm very excited about that.
That's very exciting.
Oh,
Have your own show, basically.
Well, yeah.
In a sense.
It's a side. I still like the Daily Show. Don't you get me fired.
No. Now, when can our viewers see David Letterman receive that prize on PBS?
That will be November 20th.
November 20th. Did you get that? November 20th.
Set the DVR now.
That's right.
Set the DVR and then set it again and watch the West Coast feed. I don't know if PBS has a West Coast. They probably do.
But no, that's great. I'm very excited for you. That's awesome. And we wish you the best of luck in what will hopefully be a very long career in comedy.
Absolutely.
And thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you.
Anyway, we're going to have more of Let's Talk Live coming up right after the break, so stay with us.